Yeah, hi traders, JW here, beginning of the second week of trying to rescue this account. But before we get going, I want to make it really clear that this is just for educational purposes only. And you need to read the risk disclaimer. This is not teaching you how to trade at all. It's just sharing with you the actual realities and the truths of being involved with the currency market. And you need to make sure that you understand the risks of trading leverage products. So with that being said, make sure that you read this. And again, this video is for educational purposes only. Okay, so here in Trade Zone, here's our mantra. We don't trade with money we can't afford to lose. We don't chase the market. We protect our capital. We find a strategy that works for you. And the basis and foundation of a good strategy is trading support and resistance. You find the strategy that works for you. I've shared a couple of things in terms of a couple of indicators that I use, but you need to go and do the work for yourself, because if you just copy me, it won't work. You've got a different risk tolerance and you've got a different trading psyche. So you've got to find something that works for you, and that means that you have got to go and do the work. So go and do it. Right, what we're looking at this week, I just want to introduce to you another one of the things that I look at, and I try to keep it really simple, is the strength indicator I use. Go and have a look. I've paid for this one. I'm not paid to promote this one, but this is a very good one, and I would recommend that you go and test it out. So at the beginning of last week we were $11. In this account we now have 121. I have a trade open on the pound JPY. I'm only taking one trade, but I am looking at yen weakness, and I'm looking at strength in the pound today, and I'm expecting the pound at least to come up to the mean level of this today. The yen is weak against all currencies, although I see that the US currency started to come on down at all. So we'll keep an eye on that. The other currency that I'm interested in is the euro. That's looking like it's strengthening here, and if I click on the euro and the JPY, it'll bring up this. I really like this, and I'm going to be looking at this. I'm just waiting for it to break a resistance area. So let's quickly go and have a look at that. This is what it looks like on the daily time frame, and as you see that sometimes I do investigate where the pivots are, but right now if we take that off, it's not important. We have been in a downtrend on the daily time frame since about the 8th of June, and now we've come and it looks and appears that it's bottoming out. Now we're still on the top side of this, but here's the support and resistance areas. Here's the support or resistance area here. That's a key area. If this price holds up above here, and we can get a bounce, so we had a break up and a close on Friday just above this key area of resistance. Now to me, in my mind, here is another area of resistance. Now this could just range in here for a number of days or even weeks, and this whole range is only 132 pips, so be very, very careful. I don't usually trade ranges, but because we're now up above a key resistance area, and I'm watching my entry indicator here, which is the yellow one, it's got a crossover, but I'm looking for a definite retest to see if this is a fakie or not. And then if I get a decent pattern on maybe an hourly or 4-hourly chart, and I'll go down and show you, you can see that it's already retested on a 4-hour, but we've got this big bearish candle in here, so I'm not holding my breath. I'm just looking for this to come back a little lower and see if it can bounce off here. I do have I want to set an alarm here. I'll do that right now. So if it just goes through here, it'll warn me, and if it does that, I'll stay out of it until it breaks this area here. And if it breaks this area, I'll look for a retest before I get in. I'm just sitting on the sidelines. Okay, the clock's ticking, and we're looking at the pound JPY. Right, I have taken the pound JPY based on the strength. I see weakness in the yen and strength in the pound, and this is what it looks like from a daily perspective. You can see that this is a key area of support. This trade we were in last week, everything lined up. I just like it. This is my baseline, so I'm on the right side of it, and I just put a pending order in here, and it triggered earlier today. This is the first time I've looked at the chart since the markets are open. I'm left these here so that I put the stop loss under this daily candle here, and I'll turn this up so you know that I'm not telling porkies. You can hear that's where the stop loss is, and I'm going to be looking at around about here for the first area of take profit. There we go. That's about it. Now I want to go down to the 4-hour hourly chart, I think it is, because those stop losses are too big for the size of this account, and I'm pulling these stop losses into underneath the last hourly candle. That's the way I'm protecting my capital. If this is truly going to be a breakout, then I will expect that this will go, and it's now evening here in my nation in New Zealand, and the London Open's a couple of hours away. The spread's not too bad, it's only 3 pips, and I will expect that if this is a genuine breakout for this to begin to move up, I will watch it. You can see here that I've taken a 30-cent lot, so I split it into 3. That's 29 pips, so I'm wanting at least double that in terms of my first take profit. And it's just my little indicator here, and if you stay watching, I'll give you the name of this eventually. But I want you to go and do some research yourself. Don't just try to take the easy armchair ride. So that's the trade I'm in this week. I'm going to lose approximately $6 if I miss this trade, $6 to $8, and I'm happy with that. That'll still keep me above $100 for the account. So remember, we started at $121. There's not a lot of trades around. I might do some scalping in the London breakout. Just want to take a quick look. I'm watching the New Zealand USD. Will change because we don't need the pivots there. I just like to check to see where they are. We're in a strong downtrend, and there's a little bit of a crown here, and I think it's actually it's reached its symmetry. So the symmetry was here, and that was another trade that we caught last week. Remember, we don't trade patterns fundamentally. It's support and resistance, and you'll see roughly a support area where the neckline of this trade was. Now it's not exact, okay? There's the right neckline there, and then you went up into the right shoulder there, and you'd have to come down into here, and so you can see the neckline of the crown. Okay, now that was a key support, so I didn't wait for the crown to form. I got in with a break of this, and that was this trade here. Now we're waiting to see if we get a break of the neckline of the crown. And if we do, I will go in again. Just roughly, the neckline of the crown is around there somewhere. And I'll just change the color so that you can see the differentiation between the two. And I am interested if I get a bounce off. So we actually broke the neckline of the crown. You can go have a look at, look, I'll give you a clue. Just for the sake of time, there you go. There's the left shoulder. I just happened to notice this, but I didn't trade it as a fundamental. I was just aware of the possibility of this. What I traded was the support. Now I can see where that neckline is, roughly, and it's just got to be roughly in there somewhere. If we get a bounce off here, I am interested in taking the slow, but bear in mind that there's some weakness being shown in the US dollar at the moment. That may change in the London session, and it may change in the New York session, but as long as this level of resistance here holds, I'm interested in getting a pattern on either the 4-hour or hourly chart and seeing if this crown now, which is in the direction of the daily trend, to see if we can get lower. And it has to take this out if it's going to really get going. But I'm looking for a bounce of this area. So with that being said, that's all I've got to say about that. I'm not going to waste your time. Again, just remember, if you're following us, you know, we've started with $120, $21 this week. We'll see what happens at the end of this week. I'm not necessarily going to broadcast every single day, but I'll give you an update in the morning on this trade maybe, and we'll see how we go. It looks like it's going quite well at the moment. So there you have it. Trade well, protect your capital, do your homework, don't chase the market. Stay within the rules of your strategy. Find the strategy first if you haven't got one, and we'll see you again soon in the next session. Cheers.